check that mofo. Check that mofo. Check that.
With yours truly, Jennifer Nelson. Yo, it's a family affair.
Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and these are my beautiful co-hosts,
Christina,
Marjorie, Queen.
and we are having a special episode tonight. We're going to be talking about finances. What can you do to get out of debt? But before we go there, you know I got to check in with my girls. How was your day, Christine?
my day was pretty good. It was busy, but y'all know me. It's Friday Eve, and I'm ready for the weekend.
All right. Marjorie?
My day was really good, very productive, got some good news, and I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Queen?
Yes, my day was real good. I'm here.
All
Glad to
right.
have you.
I'm glad everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very quick, easy day. So, no complaints here.
Love those.
Okay. So, did you know that America household debts hit a record 16.9 trillion at the end of 2022? And it's up 2.75 trillion since 2019, according to the Federal Reserve. Now, I do have some research that I've done, and because I cannot remember it all, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to read off of it. So, what can you tell me, and anybody can jump in, about debt and how to get out of it? Tips and tricks on getting out of debt.
First opinion is it sucks. It's easy to get into, hard to
Absolutely.
get out.
Absolutely.
I mean, one thing that I learned is like a snowball effect, and some stuff is explained, in a complicated way. But an easy version is, let's say you got 2-3 things you owe money on. You pay bare minimum on all of them, but on the smallest one, you pay a little extra when you're done with that one. Then the extra that you was applying to the smallest one, you'll put that to your newest smallest one, and keep paying the bare minimum on the other big one you got, and that's how a snowball effect works with debt. And I have myself on a budget right now. And it's like when I get paid, 50% of my check goes to stuff that I need, necessities.
Yes.
I got 20% going towards debt because I have a certain amount of debt I'm trying to pay off real quick. Another 10% goes to, another 10% goes to my savings. And then my other 20% goes to like my wants, because I still want to live my life,
Right.
I don't want to put everything towards my debt and walk around feeling like I'm just going to work to, just pay bills.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, because we all want to live. We don't want to just
Right.
survive. So
Right.
I can feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Americans owe $9.86 billion on credit cards.
Wow.
And I know since 2020, a lot of people are just living off their credit cards. Some people feel like they don't have any choice in the matter. And, we got to do what we got to do. But we're going to talk about ways to reduce that debt and to get out of that debt. Anybody else got anything before I go out?
You was about to say something?
Well, yeah, like I can relate to living off the credit cards because I actually was doing that a little bit last year. That's how my debt grew the way it is now, is because I was, going for, an entrepreneurship. And in my dry times, I would use my credit cards to maintain the life that I wanted, my family to have. So now that I'm back at a regular job, I'm digging my way out of that debt that I caused on myself, trying to maintain the lifestyle that I had when I was dry in my entrepreneurship. So
I can relate to that.
Well, Marjorie mentioned, that she was on a budget. So I was just going to say, one of the things that would help is to put yourself on the budget, some of the stuff that, just write down all your bills and, all the stuff that you pay for all the time that you don't necessarily need, just cut back on some of that stuff. Like me, I know one right now that I keep telling myself I need to cut back on, and that's my cable bill, which I got a bundle package, and it's too much money, and I keep saying, oh, I'm going to drop all that and just get the internet. I know this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it tonight.
And I'm going to remind you.
me too.
I'm going to do it tonight because I'm really wasting my money with that. So, like, that's one thing, you look at your bills and see where you can cut back on, some stuff you can't cut back on, it's just a necessity, and, you just don't have no choice with those things. So, you just got to find a way to where you're going to be able to take care of those things specifically, first. And then your wants and your needs, they'll come after that. But still have some money to put away. Like Margie said, have a percentage going to your savings. Have a percentage going to the stuff that you just want to do, or, that you're going to do. The stuff that you have coming up. Go ahead and pre-plan. If you got a trip coming up, go ahead and put aside 5%, for a couple months. 5% of your check going towards your trip. So that way, when your trip come up, you're not like trying to come up with all this money at one time. So just put yourself on budgets. You could do mini budgets. If you just need to gain some money for a certain period of time. You need it for before a certain period of time. Have those 6 months where you just say, okay, I'm gonna budget for these 6 months. I'm gonna buy the off-brand cereal instead of the name brand cereal,
It's so funny you said that, because I did, like, 2 days ago. That cereal's off the chain.
Look, see? You don't even be that deep sometimes.
It really don't.
Yeah. I don't do cereal, so I grow that.
Well, we just saying, food in general.
Yeah, I know.
You
Especially
ain't
when you
gotta
got
have
kids,
even with clothes and stuff. You ain't gotta have the Gucci.
Of course
you can
not.
just buy a shirt that look just like a Gucci shirt, and spend a quarter of what you was gonna spend on a Gucci shirt.
But if you everyday people like us, we ain't trying to do no Gucci anyway. We everyday regular people. We got regular lives, regular jobs. Like, who try to dress like that? Who you trying to impress? Not that there's anything wrong with it. If you got it like that, go ahead and do you. But I'm just saying, like, every day you got to have this and you got to have that name brand. I got name brand stuff. I ain't saying I don't. But I ain't going broke trying to get it. Because I ain't trying to impress nobody. What you see is what you get. Always with me. So I'm just saying. But as far as debt, who is most likely to get into debt? More importantly, who's most likely to get out of debt? Age, income, ethnicity, family types, and education all play a part. Demographics, however, don't strictly determine debt risk. So in other words, everybody can be in debt. Rich, poor, middle class, everybody. But what you do with what you have, that makes the difference. So I can say from experience that I have had to file bankruptcy a time or two. I felt like I didn't have any choice in the matter. But it didn't stay on my credit for 10 years like people assume that's been told that it's going to be on your credit for 10 years. That's not always the case. They got so many people out there that does credit repairs, and you can't get that off before 10 years. I worked my way back from that several times, and you can do it too. Like, all it takes is determination to get out of that debt and to
Right.
stay out of that debt. Like, if it's not a necessity, then you got to just start saying no. Always go back to just say no. If it's not something that you can't live without, you just have to deny yourself, because you're looking forward to what's coming. You're not just living in the moment. Like, in other words, like you say, if you got a trip that you want to go on and you know you want to plan this trip, then deny yourself for the moment and plan for that trip. Like, put aside an extra $50.
Right.
Have it coming out automatic. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
That's the way I found. Let it go out automatic. That way you don't miss
Don't
it.
see it.
And if your kids come to you wanting next best thing, because you know television advertisement,
Right.
they do that on purpose to tempt your kids, so they be want. But your
Right.
kids, you can say no to your
Right,
kids. It's
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
They ain't got to have the
Oh, I
latest
do
and the
it.
greatest.
Trust me.
Especially them iPhones. Like, come on now, the phone you got works. Well, you got to have an iPhone.
Right.
But you can tell them, hey, if you want this iPhone, then you got to do such. Say for instance, your grades. You got to stay on point with your grades.
Make them work for it.
Make them work for it. Make them earn it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. It make them appreciate it.
Exactly. But if you got to just say, look, baby, I can't afford it right now, but maybe in the future or for Christmas or
Right.
whatever y'all
Yeah.
do, then you might be able to get that. But right now, it's just not possible. They
Right.
might be mad for a moment, but they'll get over it.
Exactly.
If you talk to them, kids ain't dumb. They understand.
Yeah.
And if they get mad and get attitude, tell them to get over it.
Yeah. They just won't get it at all, you know.
Exactly.
You can wait or you cannot get it at all.
Right. 'Cause
That's simple.
don't put yourself in the bind
Right.
trying to do for
Exactly.
them.
Exactly.
Because you got the end game in mind. They don't understand.
Right.
And they don't care. They just want what they want.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say no. You can't have it. And if they ask you why, I say, because I say it. So if they don't understand what you're saying, break it down to them.
Yeah.
And if they still don't get it, just tell them, I said no, and I mean no. And that's the end of it.
Not right
Now, if they up of age where they can get a job, they can get what they want. Then go work for it.
Yeah.
Because they earn it then. And I tell you what, they will appreciate it more. So, Queen, you got anything to add on that?
Yeah, just think of things that you can do to save money. And you always got to keep in your head is, like she was saying, is not a necessity. You know, definitely got to keep that in your mind. So, you know, if you can't remember to do it, say it that way. Just remember, say, is this a need or is it a want? You know, and so that kind of helps keep your mind focused on things.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot things that we can deprive ourselves of for a little while to get what we want.
Right.
Even if that means moving in with someone, your maybe your kids, maybe your parents, moving back home for a while until you can get yourself together.
Yeah.
Because being in debt is crazy, you know, but it's our fault. A lot of it is because we have big eyes and
Big wants.
you know, big wants, and so we grab all this stuff. Like every week or so, we go to the grocery store. We buy all this food, but we find time to still go out and eat. But we got food at home because nobody wants to cook.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody wants to go out and be like, oh, I can afford it. But why do you go to the grocery store?
Right.
It's ridiculous, you know. And in the meantime, you keep piling food there. And so you got all this stuff that's out of date, you know, because you're not cooking it, and you won't give it away, and you just keep adding stuff.
And then you have a big old cookout and invite everybody over. But they don't know it's all the stuff that's been in a deep freeze for a year.
So we have to stop
Not
the
saying I'm
madness.
doing that, but that's just what it is.
Some people do that. I've heard them say that. You know,
Oh my
but
goodness.
that's definitely madness because I could have taken that part of the money and knock down, a bill,
Yeah.
And it's the little bitty things for putting your pocket change somewhere.
Right.
I love just taking a little bit of time and folding, gathering those coins and putting them in the slot and roll them up and put them away, and sometimes you might want to get your kids involved. Let's have a lemonade stand sale.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like just picking up a little second job or something, even if it is for like 2-3 months or
Yep.
6 months, whatever.
Mhm.
Do some Lyft, do some DoorDash, Uber, or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, get that
just to,
extra money.
and take that extra money and just put it up because
Right.
you wasn't having that extra money coming in anyway. So act like it ain't coming in still.
Right.
Just put it up for whatever you need it for.
Yeah.
And as you knock down that debt, keep putting that money aside.
Right.
Like that's your savings right there. And
Right.
everybody needs to have an emergency
Right.
savings. Everybody.
Exactly.
Because you don't never know what might happen.
Right.
Things happen all day, every day.
Right.
But if you got that taken care of, you ain't got to worry about it. You got it.
Right.
So just once you pay off that one debt, that one credit card, you still take that amount. I don't care if it's $30, $35. What is the going rate? $35 a month for a credit card. I always try to pay more than the minimum balance.
Right. Yeah.
But if that's all you got, then just make sure you're paying it on time.
Right.
And once that's paid off, put that $35 aside. That's your savings. Then you pay off the next card. Keep putting that $35 because you ain't gonna miss it.
Right.
If
And
you
then
already know it's
losing-
for something.
You losing money when you paying off that debt because every day that go by, there's more interest that adds on.
Right.
But
right.
if you putting that in your savings, of course, and with certain banks, once it get to a certain amount, you start gaining interest off that money. So,
Right.
if you still putting that money back, you're gonna start making money off of the money that you putting back. So,
Right.
like she said, keep on doing it, especially if it's such a small amount like that. Like,
Right.
who can't put back $35 every 2 weeks or every week? Like,
And if you got a mortgage, start knocking that mortgage down.
Mm-hmm.
Like them credit card payments, as you pay them off, and you setting that credit card payment aside, you can use once you build up enough to pay your mortgage payment, make the extra mortgage payment. Get your mortgage paid down
right.
quicker. Like there's all kind of ways to get out of debt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And then like I used to do this thing where I would put about $35 in my wallet, and if I went all week and I didn't use it, I still added the $35 to it. So now I got $70, and each time I didn't use it, I keep putting it back. But if I did use it, then I find a way to put the money back anyway. The CDs are really, really good because it's where you can't really get your hands on it to a certain amount of time. Those are real good as well. But it's just about changing your mindset of how you view money.
Right.
And once you change your mindset and you focus on the things that are important, the things that you need to do, like quick, this is something I got to do, and no matter what people say, because I always say sometimes people that I associate with, I'll be like, I can't do it, or I don't have the money. Well, sometimes they would voice it. She'll never have any money. But it's okay because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. And half the time I didn't want to go anyway.
Right.
So that was a good excuse to use. Right. Now I don't have it. And then I had friends that, did want to pay, but even that made me, feel, some type of way because, I kind of like to have my own, way of paying. It's okay if somebody pays sometimes, but not all the time.
Right.
But it's definitely a mindset that has to be changed.
Yes, discipline.
Very much discipline. And so when you constantly got money on your mind, you'll move different.
Yeah.
And also, don't worry about the lack. always see yourself as having enough
Right.
to do whatever you need to do.
Mhm.
See it up here first,
Right.
and then it'll manifest.
Mhm.
If you always thinking about, well, I ain't got $2 left in the bank,
Mhm.
you ain't gonna always have but $2 left in the bank. So think forward, think positive.
Mhm.
Oh, I got $1 million and I can buy whatever I want. Just because you don't see it here with your natural eyes,
Yeah.
that don't mean it won't happen.
Right.
You got to see it up here first.
First.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you see it up here,
Mhm.
then hey, anything is possible.
That's true because
Yes.
when I be sewing, and sometimes I run into a spot that I want to be more creative,
Mhm.
and I just be trying to work that thing, and if I lay down and go to sleep and I wake back up, I think more clearer. But a lot of the times, if I'm trying to make something from scratch,
Mhm.
if I don't see it up here, it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Mhm.
But if I see it up here, these hands gonna, and the
Right.
mind is gonna make it happen.
Right,
you know?
right.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
you gotta see it.
Mhm.
And you also got to remember things always happen for you,
Yeah.
not to you.
Mhm.
Always remember that. I had to teach myself that.
Yeah.
So,
Speak it and put it out there in the atmosphere.
Right.
You know?
yes.
And those things usually come to you. I've had that to happen to me before. You know, just like I want this, or
Right,
such
you
and
gotta
such is gonna
manifest it.
happen, and it manifests. You know, so yeah,
Yeah.
it can happen. It's all according to how you think.
Right.
And your conversation. What are you speaking? Am I
Right.
broke?
Right.
You know, you might not have anything, but don't say you're broke.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
just
Speak
like
life.
what you were saying. You know, speak
Mhm.
life.
Yes, indeed. Anybody else got anything, any tips, any tricks? I know one for the mortgage as well. On the 15th of the month, instead of, if you don't have like the whole payment to make, you can pay down that principal, and that will also help you pay your mortgage off faster. But it's anything that you can do, anything
Mhm.
that you can do, move forward. That way you don't feel like you stagnant and not moving, or that I'm gonna always be a bit. Same thing with a car payment. Same thing with credit cards.
Yeah.
If you can pay that interest, then yeah, you can pay that minimum balance. But I always try to pay more than the minimum balance. But if
Right.
you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
Right.
Just pay what you can.
Mhm.
I always try to make that payment on time.
Right. And at least 10, if you can, 10 days before your due date. Because that's going to cut, some on your interest.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you don't want to just pay the minimum balance. 'Cause you're gonna be forever paying that balance down.
Right. It's gonna
Every time you look at it, it's gonna look
10
like it's
years.
getting higher and higher.
Right.
Especially with the interest rate.
Mhm.
I mean, it just seems like it's just going up, 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 and it ain't gonna never stable out.
Mhm.
So you always want to try to do the best you can to pay more. Take on them extra hours of overtime. I know you probably don't want to do it. And I don't be want to do it either.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
Right.
You already know what you got coming. Prepare for it.
Right.
So it can be done. I got faith in you. I believe you can do it. So
Yes, they can.
go for it. Also, I know groceries is high, and they getting higher every day. Seem like. So if you can't buy the things that you desire to eat, then settle for something else. But try to make healthy choices. I know everybody. I love fruit, and I try to eat fruit every day. That'd be my first meal of the day every day. But fruit is expensive. So if you can't buy the fruits that you want, like I love watermelon, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I done bought about 5 watermelons and had to throw them away because they wasn't no good. I don't know what's going on with these watermelons, but y'all need to get it together out there. Don't be messing with my watermelon.
Right.
But that's the most hydrating fruit that you can have. Yeah, them things be about $14, and I open it up and it's mushy or
You don't take them back? I take mine back and say, I bought this. and it was no good. Why?
No
You know, I
good.
called down there and told them about it. Well, ma'am, just bring it down. Okay, and then I
Oh, they
get
let you
me
bring it back
another.
after you don't open it?
Yeah,
How
that's
else would you know?
that.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that from now on. I got one in there now.
No, I got my receipt, and I bought this such and such. Do you want me to bring it in?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm a customer. Okay.
So they
the
if
customer
they
is
want
right.
you to bring the water in the
Well,
back.
now this one
Some of
particular
them.
store, they didn't. They didn't want me to bring. They had to take my word, you know.
Okay.
And so I mean, I
Well,
shopped
give
there
it a
all the
try.
time, you know.
Y'all can have them old things.
Yeah,
They
I
ain't
mean,
no
that-
good.
but
They ain't eating it.
that's money that you spent.
Right.
You know, the thing I be upset about now, I got to get in my car and drive back over to the place, and I was wanting this watermelon. You play with my watermelon.
I love me some watermelon. The yellow ones, and especially the red ones. They already naturally
Yeah.
sweet. I can eat watermelon all day long. I'll be all right. But let me get back on topic.
Yeah.
I'll get thirsty just thinking about it.
I know, right?
Also, not only the food, if you got kids, you got to buy clothes.
Yeah.
We all know how expensive clothes. Everything is expensive. Everything. It just seems like ever since 2020, things just have not quit going up. And I know some of y'all probably struggling, don't know how you're gonna make it, and you just want to know what can you do to get out of debt and to take care of your family. That used to be one of my main concerns. I guess I was my first marriage, I was 18 years old, and I had 3 kids back to back from there. And then I got divorced. Well, it took a couple years, but I separated after the 3rd baby. And then years later, I got divorced from that because I wasn't trying to go back to that. And I was on, what they call that, public assistance. And I only got $18 to live with 3 small kids. That's all they gave me. And they gave me some food stamps, of course, to feed them. But $18 to pay my utilities. I had a 3-bedroom apartment. And we wasn't necessarily struggling. I didn't have any job skills because all I had was my babies. But that was not the life I wanted for my children. And I struggled within myself trying to provide and give them something to look forward to. Better, or more, I should say. They had clothes on their back, shoes on their feet, and they had food to eat. But I just knew it had to be something better than that. So for any mother that's struggling and don't know how she's going to make it and how she's going to feed her kids, let me tell you, you can come out of that. It took strength from within for me to keep my head up and to strive to want better for my children. And I did. I got better. I was able to get me a job that paid enough, and I kept, that was like all through my 20s, that was my goal, just be able to take care of my children and provide for them so they didn't want for nothing. And I accomplished that. So I know that you can do that as well. Don't give up. You keep on struggling, but you look forward to that day that you can take care of your children.
Right.
You can do it. I did it. I know other mothers that's done it. Like if you don't have no help and you feel like the world is against you, don't worry about that. You stay close to God, keep him in your heart, and you do whatever it takes to take care of the babies. And take care of yourself. Don't forget about yourself. You got to take care of yourself. Stay strong in your mind. You can succeed. I believe that you can succeed because I succeeded. And I overcame the doubt, worried about this and worried about that. I used to sit up, I was in an abusive relationship. And I used to sit up nights rubbing on my middle son's chest, because he was so afraid that his daddy was trying to break into the apartment and get to him. Would be like a tree. The wind would blow the tree and it would scratch against the windows, and he would be panicking and having asthma attack, and he would think it was his daddy trying to get in and break in and attack us. And I had to just sit there and rub on him and assure him that everything is okay. Mm-hmm. And we made it through that. They grown now, overgrown. I got soon to be 8 grandkids. Like, I know you can make it. I know you can get through whatever it is that you're going through. You just got to have faith and know that you can survive it.
Yes.
And that your kids can survive it.
Yes.
So I don't know how I got up on that, but yeah, that's what I can say. Evidently, somebody needs to hear that.
Right.
So you go, girl, and what you've done thus far, you just pat yourself on the back. It's all good. Take care of the babies.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. That's all I was trying to say.
Yes, yes. And yourself is the number one priority.
Yes.
Because if you don't take care of yourself,
That's right.
you're not going to be able to take care of your family.
Exactly.
And so you want to be whole and well, with your kids and, all that. So just keep on, like she said, just keep on holding that thing together, because it won't always be like this.
That's right.
They're gonna grow up,
That's right.
and then they're gonna be gone, and then you're gonna be like, where did your time go to? And then you're gonna miss them, and then they'll come over here and there,
And they're gonna thank you for all that you've done.
All that you've done.
The part that they can remember.
Yeah. So the struggles, they just only for a little while. But changing the way you think and the way you look, at your finances, and just keep saying, I'm going to come out of this, and while you're trying to come out and you're teaching your children, how to not get into different types of debt, and you're teaching them, and usually kids catch on real quick, and so a lot of times, especially our males, when they don't like to see mommy struggle, so they always trying to say something like, well, when I get big enough, or I'm gonna buy you a house, they say stuff like that. Or my son told me one time, he says he gave me a hug, and he says, well, you're not gonna need no husband. He said, I'm gonna buy you a house. I said, yeah, but I still need a husband, And I said, I'll marry again. And he was like, well, you don't need all that, He said, I said, I'll need a hug. He said, well, I'll come give you a hug. And he actually thought like that, So they say little things, like that. To let you know that they rocking with you 100%, and that even if it feels like, they feel like they the man of the house at that particular time, but they do watch, and they do a lot of the times want to see the best for their mothers. And so if we teach them well, we teach them to the best of our ability.
Right.
And we stay the course. And you got to stay the course,
Indeed.
And if we stay the course, we can watch everything move forward. And don't be embarrassed, because the whole United States, and probably those surrounding states around us, they got money problems too.
Yes, we all go through something. But the main thing is, don't give up. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your kids. Like, keep moving forward. Because life will keep on lifing.
It will. Big time.
And them bills, they gonna keep on coming. Thing is, don't keep going out there making them.
Yes.
But it's all good. We just hope that somebody can get something out of this. And we hope we said something that will help you. And if you have something that you're going through and that you want to talk about it or you want us to discuss, then write it in, put it in a Dear Jen letter. You can text it or write through the email. And we'll get into that topic. Because, hey, it's plenty of spirits on this board. We done did a little bit of everything.
Yeah. It's okay to have yard sales.
Yes.
Go in there in that closet and get some of that stuff that still look good. If you're like me, got stuff in there, got tags all on them. Like
and a million pair of shoes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know. I need
let it
one.
go. Just let it go. Then you replenish it back when you get a chance. But let it go.
You know you ain't gonna wear it anyway.
Yeah,
Talk to yourself first. Got plenty of clothes I know. I ain't even gonna try to get back in. So I can't get rid of them. But I guess we better get to our Dear Jen letter before I keep going. Dear Jen, I have maxed out all 4 of my credit cards, buying groceries, paying bills, and eating out. I make monthly payments on time, and I make more than the minimum payment. That's good. The problem is, I don't see any change in what I owe. Can you advise? Ooh, child, I feel that. Well, if they already maxed out, the best thing you can do is cut them up. No, don't do that. Well, put them away. So that way, every little minimum balance that you put on it, you won't go back and use it. So just put them away, lock them away in a safe somewhere, and keep making your payment. You said you're making more than the minimum. That is great. Keep doing that until you get that balance paid all the way off. Now, once you get it off, it ain't time to celebrate and go run them back up. Don't do that. Talking from experience. Just use them for emergencies. Set them aside, because really, to me, that's only the good thing about credit cards is to be used for emergencies. Now, I don't always do that, but I'm just saying. And always have you an emergency account. Just in case anything happens, then, if you can't make it to work and get those hours that you need, you got an emergency account set aside, you still can make your mortgage payment, rent payment, or whatever, your car payment, whatever. But, in order to see change, you got to stop using it and keep on making a payment. Try to make payment twice a month instead of just once a month. You can see it begin to drop. But just do the best you can, because it's hard right now for everybody. So do the best you can. Anybody?
Stay encouraged.
Yes.
Celebrate the small stuff. Like if you get one paid off and you end up owing 3 more, celebrate that one you got paid off. Even if it was a small amount.
Yes.
Maybe ask your family members or somebody that you interact with that you're close to, if they can help you out.
Yes.
And just come up with some type of plan. Usually, we ask your family members, because family want each other to thrive, and they don't want you to be sitting back hurting. And if you can help them, you will help them. So just ask, but you won't know unless you ask. And don't just look at it like I don't want nobody in your business. Well, I'm going to tell you, that bank that you got that money from, them credit card, they all up in your business.
And not only them, everybody going through the same thing.
Yeah.
You ain't no secret. Like, we all going through the same stuff.
Don't think
Some of us
hard
just handle it
about
better.
Yeah, be over there. Sis, look, I need some money. I ain't got none. I need some money. And I'm going on a trip. I'm trying to go on a trip to Jamaica. I need some money for that. So, hey.
And we'll take donations at.
So I'm going to be asking some family members for help me with my little trip.
Yeah.
I ain't scared.
Don't be scared. All right, the next Dear Jen letter is. Hi, today's topic hit home with me because for the life of me, I can't seem to get ahead. Ooh, child. No matter how hard I work, it never seemed to be enough. I have credit card debt and I try to pay it on time every month, but my balance is not moving. What am I doing wrong? Help!
Again, pay a little more.
We just talked about that. Pay more and stay encouraged, like she said,
Put them cards up.
and put them cards away. But one thing I didn't mention that I need to mention, you do not want to close that account
Right.
because
Yeah.
that make your score drop all the way down.
Yep.
So don't close it, just don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it away and forget you got it. Except for that payment. Don't forget about that payment. Keep making that payment.
Right. But if you speak to the people, they
Yeah,
can
that
maybe
too.
give you a lower interest rate.
Exactly. They will
You
negotiate.
know, but if you don't ask them, you know, you may not get it. But the interest rate would be on the new bill that you made, not the existing one.
Right.
So they will, you know, a lot of times consider giving you a new interest rate where it's a little lower.
But at the end of the day, I believe in you. I believe you can do it. So get out there and be great.
Yes, be great. If it's not a need and it's just a want,
Deny yourself.
deny.
Deny. Anywho, this has been another great conversation at Check That Post Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok and Facebook at Check That Post, and on YouTube at Check That Post Pod. Hit the like and subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you know every time we upload a new episode. You can write a Dear Jen letter to checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251.
Oh, check that. Check that. Check that. Check that. Check that. Check that.